Alright dudes and dudettes, I finally finished SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. Now, time for the real deal. What's going on dudes and dudettes, Major Pineapple here, and Jesus Nintendo, what took you so long? This was easily the most asked for Wii U game to come to the Switch. For those of you who don't know, which I'm guessing is most of you because albeit the Wii U is a great console, it sold barely any units during its lifetime. Super Mario 3D World released right alongside the Xbox One. Not your best move, Nintendo, huh? Of course it would have been overshadowed. It didn't stand a chance. Everything was going against it. Maybe if it was the Wii U launch title, we'd be speaking differently on it, but Nintendo likes taking time with their games, and I gotta respect that. But as I was originally saying, Super Mario 3D World was one of the Wii U games that everyone begged for to come to Switch, and for a while, it seemed like we wouldn't be getting it. Then the Mario 35 Nintendo Direct happened, and all prayers were answered. Super Mario 3D World would be brought over to the Switch. Wait, hold up, what's that plus sign over there? Oh lord, oh my god, what is that? What's Bowser's Fury? It was later revealed that alongside that, with Super Mario 3D World, we'd be getting an expansion to it known as Bowser's Fury. Many speculated that it would be levels from the 3D World predecessor, Super Mario 3D Land, brought into HD, or would you play as Bowser himself? Or would you be getting a brand new story with it? We ended up getting a 3 to 6 hour campaign that's a mix of 3D World and Odyssey that made everyone beyond excited for this release. When Super Mario 3D World first released, it was met with critical acclaim. Finding a negative review was so difficult to find. So the question begs to be answered, how does it hold up 7 years later? Let's find out. The story in Super Mario 3D World is actually not what you'd think. Instead of Bowser kidnapping Princess Peach, he's actually trapping 7 Sprixie fairies to do whatever Bowser does. I guess? I get he wants to marry Peach so he kidnaps her, but all of his plans feel very half-baked. And is it too much to ask Nintendo to make a new Mario villain? I mean, look at all of the villains that Link has had. You're telling me that Nintendo can't come up with another one besides Bowser? Look at The Legend of Zelda. Link doesn't always just fight Ganon. He can fight a fish too. But of course, what makes Mario games really stand out is the level design, and oh my god, it's so good here. I remember vividly picking up the game day one with Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds and swapping between the games, seeing which one I liked better, and at the time, it would have been impossible for me to give you an answer because it would have been whatever I was playing at that moment. And still 7 years later, Super Mario 3D World has some of my favorite levels that I have had the pleasure of playing. While some levels do feel somewhat samey, they're broken up so that way it doesn't feel too repetitive. On one level, you'll be going across an island, then the next traversing a desert, then the next escaping a snowstorm, and so on and so forth. I really like this because while the levels are short, it incentivizes you to keep playing, and it always left me wanting more. And me personally, I somewhat prefer shorter games, so this is perfect for me. And the bite-sized nature of the level design does make it feel like it's never dragged on. Connecting the levels is a world map similar to what you'd find in the new Super Mario Bros. Titles, but way more open-ended. The levels are laid out neatly for you to see and have a preview of what you're gonna experience. It adds literally nothing to the overall gameplay experience other than being kinda cool, I guess. And thankfully, the way that the characters play fit perfectly with the level design. Did I say characters as in plural? Oh, did I forget to mention you get to play 4 different characters in Super Mario 3D World? By now, I bet you're wondering, what are these 4 characters that you speak of, Major Pineapple? Calm down, I'm getting there. Jeez Louise. In Super Mario 3D World, you play as Mario. Big shock, I know. Luigi, Princess Peach, and Toad. Each character has their own unique traits and abilities. Mario is the most basic, just the overall player. Luigi can jump the highest, Princess Peach can hover in the air with her dress, and Toad runs almost too damn quick. I definitely like playing Mario and Luigi the best. Toad and Peach feel really gimped to me, and I am not a fan. One complaint that 3D World had on its initial release was that it was really slow, so Nintendo sped everything up a little bit. It's weird at first, and I wasn't expecting it to have such a major impact, but it really does. Keep in mind, I haven't played this game in maybe 4 years, probably even more. So going back to what I originally knew with a different pace felt so strange. Thankfully though, I got used to it, and I think I actually prefer it this way. It feels way more urgent than it's ever felt, and I love it. One other thing that I love in 3D World is the power-ups. Easily the best the Mario series has ever seen, especially with the introduction of the catsuit. The catsuit allows you to scratch your enemies and climb up walls for a bit, and even the flagpole. It's also so damn cute. This dethrones the Tanuki suit for the cutest Mario power-up easily. 3D World also introduces the double cherry, which multiplies you. It's used to solve certain puzzles, and while it's kind of pointless, it's so much fun to mess around with it. It's sparingly used, and I think if it were added more, it would have ended up like the Batmobile in Arkham Knight. You also get some classics like the Super Mushroom, the Fire Flower, the Boomerang Flower, the Superstar, and the Mega Mushroom. Playing Super Mario 3D World feels like a classic. And one thing that I like that they added in was the dive from most 3D Mario games, and wow, I cannot even tell you how many times this has saved me. Like any Mario game, of course there's collectibles here. Most levels have 3 green stars and stickers to find. Originally, the stickers were used on Miiverse, but now that it's suffered the same fate as MySpace and Google+, they're used in the game's photo mode. Ooh. I feel like I'm the minority, but I could not care less about photo mode in games. I've seen some great photos people take, don't get me wrong, but it just isn't for me. So in the future, if you're wondering, oh, why didn't you talk about the photo mode? That's why. Moving along, there are also little off-branch levels where you could collect upwards of 10 green stars, and with the introduction of Captain Toad with his own levels. This is where Treasure Tracker got its start, and wow, I did not appreciate these when they first came out because I love these now. What makes Captain Toad unique is that due to his backpack being so heavy, he can't jump, and trying to make him jump is the cutest thing I've ever seen in a game, hands down. I'm gonna be picking up Captain Toad Treasure Tracker ASAP now. There's also, of course, cooperative multiplayer, which is fun, and online multiplayer. When I first heard this was happening, I got scared because Nintendo definitely doesn't have the best track record when it comes to their online service. I haven't tried online play, but I've heard great things about it so far, which is a sigh of relief. Super Mario 3D World plays and controls great, probably my favorite of any platformer too, and that also goes for how this game looks and sounds. When 3D World was first revealed, I was blown away by how great everything looked. I didn't care how the game played, hell, I didn't even care if it was Mario. I was so entranced by the art direction, I knew I had to get my hands on this game, whatever it was. Even at the original 720p on the Wii U, this game looks great. The Switch version is scaled up to 1080, and while it does still look amazing, I did notice a bit more jagged edges here than on the Wii U. Nintendo, you had this in the oven for 8 years, and I thought that would have been more than enough time, but no, you had to burn my turkey. It's not too noticeable, to be completely honest, and when you do, it's not too bad. The art direction here is also easily my favorite of any Mario game. I know that sounds kind of weird because every Mario game more or less looks the same, but the colors, the character designs, and the overall aura of the game are just delightful. For some reason on handheld, I noticed that everything looks a few shades darker, but it's nothing crazy. I think that the Wii U version had a slightly better UI, but I'm a bit biased just because I love the Wii U's UI so damn much. Super Mario 3D World on Switch feels more modern now with the menu layout, which I think more people are going to prefer. But the music, man, oh lord. If Nintendo put out the soundtrack to Super Mario 3D World, I probably wouldn't buy it, but I'd stream it frequently enough. It's so good. Everything feels so big band, and I'm a sucker for that kind of sound. The first menu where you decide between 3D World and Bowser's Fury has this really nice low-key jazz vibe, and it sounds amazing. Some of my favorites are Footlight Lane, the main theme, and any boss fight song. I don't remember if it was in the original Wii U release, but a ton of music here can be found in Super Mario Sunshine and Super Mario Odyssey. Either way, it fits the levels they're in perfectly. I never think, it's not the right vibe, because Super Mario 3D World is always the vibe. Always. I would definitely listen to any of these songs before going through the soundtracks in the 3D All-Stars collection. Also, the overall sound design is just straight up perfection. From character selection to the flagpole, this is the best that a Mario game has ever sounded in my personal opinion. I bet you guys are wondering though, why haven't you talked about Bowser's Fury yet? I'm getting there, guys. Calm down. Y'all are so impatient today. Jeez Louise. The brand new add-on to Super Mario 3D World, Bowser's Fury, sends everyone's favorite plumber to Lake Lapcat, an aquatic-themed cat world that's so fun to explore. I thought cats didn't like water. Weird. Basically, Bowser is pissed for whatever reason, more mad than he's ever been in the entire series, and Bowser Jr. is scared for his dad and entrusts Mario to bring him back to normal. You know what? I actually really like this. Having the enemy turn into an ally has always been such a cool plot twist that I never get sick of. And Bowser Jr. is also playable too. He essentially helps Mario collect coins, defeat enemies, or paint over these question marks to reveal hidden power-ups throughout the world. Speaking of the world, Lake Lapcat feels like a giant level in Odyssey with their own levels and structures, and I hope this is the direction Nintendo takes with the next 3D Mario game. Instead of traversing a hub world, going to a level, grabbing a star, going back to the hub world, and doing the process over and over again, it's all seamless. It's a gigantic world to explore with cat shines all over the place. You need to collect 50 to finish the game, but there are 100 in total to find. Each of the cat shines are insanely fun to collect, and it feels so rewarding to grab them. Every few minutes though, the music stops, and it starts to rain. What's going on, you might think? Then a giant Fury Bowser will unleash and wreak so much havoc it puts Godzilla to shame. Thankfully though, if you have enough cat shines, you can actually turn into essentially a Super Saiyan cat with a Gigabell, and the battle is truly epic. The big battles only last a few minutes at a time, and when it does, it can be kind of stressful, which is a feeling you don't normally get in Mario games, and I like that tense feeling it offers. It also looks and sounds great. You can also store up to 5 power-ups, maxing out at 5 per power-up. 5 times 5, that's 25. Quick maths. Of course though, it does look like 3D World because it's essentially a DLC add-on for 3D World, but it also takes a bit of inspiration from Sunshine with the inclusion of Bowser Jr. and his paintbrush and the black sludge all over Lake Lapcat. There's also a particle effect on Mario whenever it rains, and it looks kind of very not good, like at all. It's as if they originally made it very detailed, but the Switch can't handle it. The soundtrack here is also great. The whistling melody reminds me of being a little kid, waking up early summer morning, no school, no responsibilities, just good times playing good games. That's what this side story kind of feels like too, if I'm being honest. Just good vibes. And then when Bowser unleashes his fury, it's like when your parents drag you to Home Depot or Lowe's. I know I'm the only person that's gonna think this. Super Mario 3D World was an instant classic when it originally released on the Wii U, and it still holds up to this day. Nintendo added some quality of life improvements onto the Switch release, and it makes it feel like a brand new game. This could have been one of the best to come from the Wii U to the Switch, and then Nintendo developed the Bowser's Fury add-on, and it did make it the best Wii U to Switch game. If you played the original 7 years ago, get this game. If you haven't played it before, get this game. If you don't have a Switch, get a Switch and get this game. In case you couldn't tell, I loved Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, and I hope you do. Hopefully you get this game also. Anyway, dudes and dudettes, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to click that like and subscribe button, and let me know down in the comment section below, have you played Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, or were you an OG and played this on the Wii U? Let me know down in the comment section below. Anyway, dudes and dudettes, new videos on Tuesdays. Major Pineapple out.